actions made at the expense of suffering Kenyans. Maraga, in a press conference, questioned why the Health Cabinet Secretary and SHA managers remain in office despite ghost facilities being paid in May, June, and July, long after the government claimed they had been shut. Maraga is now demanding that the Ministry of Health and SHA disclose how much has been collected from Kenyans, how much Parliament has allocated, and how much has actually been disbursed, insisting that those who colluded to defraud Kenyans must face the full force of the law.
Today's event is all about
the EACC has powers to investigate those kind of crimes. All that the president is supposed to do is to disclose to EACC the raw intelligence information he has for them to investigate. He is under duty. He is under duty under the Constitution to have those people prosecuted. In fact, the whole back stops at his door. All this, SHA is something he has urged Kenyans to get into. So he knows the whole system. So when all this is happening, this is not happening without his knowledge. So action must be taken. And that's what, in my view, the Kenyans are demanding.
Yeah, that's former Chief Justice David Maraga. I like the guy. I think he's proved himself to be a straightforward man. You literally don't have any dirt on him, so to speak. You like him, you hate him, but one thing is sure about him. During his term as chief within, judiciary, as the president of the judiciary of the Supreme Court, we didn't hear, cases of him stealing money or being compromised. He stood his ground. So he's one of those people that you can look at if you're looking at a state. I don't know how good a president he would be, because being a president is a completely different ball game. But he's shown what kind of a person he is, and I'm glad that he's in the race. Now, the Council of Governors has opposed the Ministry of Health's decision to absorb 7,000 universal health coverage staff to permanent and pensionable terms. In a statement, the Council's Health Committee Chair and Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki claimed that the decision by the ministry contravenes the previously agreed position between the national and county government in regards to absorption of the staff. According to Njuki, the absorption of the staff should only be carried out once the government has allocated adequate resources in accordance with the approved Salaries and Remuneration Commission scale, and after the transfer of payroll to county governments has been agreed.
Report on the verification exercise of the UG staff has not been validated and officially shared, and therefore the process of transfer that the ministry is proposing is not agreed upon. The UHC staff currently are engaged on contractual terms and are entitled to gratuity. The Ministry of Health should therefore settle all the gratuity payments for UHC staff before the transition to county governments. The Council reiterates its earlier commitment to absorb the verified UHC staff and facilitate their salaries in line with the approved SRC salary scales once the allocation of the resources have been disbursed to the counties, as well as the gratuity obligations have been honored.
That's a very interesting situation. Actually, I think when I look back, I think the worst thing we ever did was devolving health. We should have left it under the national government. There are critical things: security, health, education. Those three should have remained under the national government, because health has been mismanaged by the county governments, and we keep on having strikes every now and then. I wish we had retained it under the national government. Now, President William Ruto has appointed a panel of 18 experts to facilitate compensation of victims of demonstration and protests dating back to 2017. The panel, gazetted on the 25th of August, shall be chaired by Professor Makao Mutua, who is Ruto's senior advisor on constitutional affairs and human rights. The panel, with Faith Odhiambo of LSK as its vice chairperson, is expected to affect the implementation of the August 8 proclamation by President Ruto, where he announced a framework to compensate protest victims. Members of the task force also include Kennedy N. Ogeto, Irungu Houghton, John Olukuru, Reverend Kennedy Barasa Simiu, Linda Musumba, Duncan Ojwang, Naini Lankas, Francis Muraya, Juliet Chepkemei, Pius Meto, Fatuma Kinsi Abbas, and Raphael Anampiu. Is issuing a final chance to the prosecution for the prosecution to file formal charges against Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji, who is accused of terrorism-related offences, or be released. During a second mention of the case, proceedings were once again adjourned after the prosecution failed to present a complete case. The court has now set a new date, that's the 5th of September, for the matter. The investigating officer requested additional time to finalize investigations. The magistrate granted the request but made it clear that failure to file charges by the next court date will result in the case dismissal.
All in all, what we are saying is that we need specifics. We need the IO to tell us where he has reached, and we need the IO to tell us what is this that is holding them back. Because when we came before you for the application, they were very specific. They wanted 14 days. We came back, we were gracious enough, we gave them 30 more days. We need to know what is this that is prolonging this investigation.
The DPP has to act upon information forwarded by the National Police Service to its office, and we are saying that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has not received that file to act upon in line with Article 157(11).
So we'll further mention the matter on 5th September 2025. This is marked as the last mention when the prosecution is expected to update the court on the progress of investigations and the issue of release of items confiscated from the rest.
Very interesting. You know, the constitution of this country is a very powerful tool. It's upon which everything in the country revolves around it. Laws are formed around it. Parliament passes laws that have to be confined within the precincts and the boundaries of the Constitution. And today is that day when we mark 15 years since the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. And a Mombasa civil-based society group is raising alarm over the sudden removal of a blogger who was allegedly sexually abused from the State Witness Protection Program. Now, a gentleman called Michael Nato, Executive Director of Haki Kenya, has written to the Witness Protection Agency demanding an explanation for the withdrawal, citing fears for the blogger's safety as the case involves senior Mombasa County officials. 4 suspects, Abdul Athman, Haji Babu, Esther Mudhoni, and Violet Adera, have been charged at the Shanzu Law Courts with conspiracy to commit felony and abduction. Additionally, Athman and Babu face charges of gang rape and assault, causing actual body harm. The blogger Bruce John alleged he was sexually assaulted on the 12th of September 2024 after posting a social media video that angered a top county official and his supporters.
All in all, what we are saying is that we need specifics. We need the IO to tell us where he has reached, and we need the IO to tell us what is this that is holding them back. Because when we came before you for the application, they were very specific. They wanted 14 days. We came back, you were gracious enough, we gave them 30 more days. We need to know what is this that is prolonging this investigation.
The DPP has to act upon information forwarded by the National Police Service to its office, and we are saying that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has not received that file to act upon in line with Article 157(11).
So we'll further mention the matter on 5th September 2025. This is marked as the last mention when the prosecution is expected to update the court on the progress of investigations and the issue of release of items confiscated from the rest.
We go for a short break. When we come back, we take a look at this. The newspapers are very, very interesting headlines. The Standard screams out, "Scandalous!" Let's take that short break. When we come back, we find out what is so scandalous in this country. What's new? All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at what's happening there. We start off with the Star newspaper. And the headline screams out why reality check awaits rebel MPs in Raila Ruto camps. They are buoyed by unprecedented clamor for good governance from Gen Z. And you have what is being classified, the people who are being classified as rebel MPs. You have Babu Wino, Caleb Amisi, Edwin Sifuna, Radhoni wa Moshomba. You have Joshua Kimilu, Obadiah Barongo, Anthony Kibagendi, and Clive Gisairo. So these are some of the guys who will be facing the music pretty soon. The second page, the Aga Khan is in the country. Then LSK President Amang Ruto speak for police brutality payment team. Then we have auditor to probe tenure of governors every 10 years. Being out of office would mean escaping the radar of Kenya's top auditor. Kericho governor bets on luck and files fresh objections. Anglo leasing. Court declines to halt trial. Hey, Anglo leasing case is still on. This is a case that is from ways back. The Star newspaper, Kibwage joins Gore. Harambee Stars defender pens emotional farewell to Tusker after Kogalo switch. 15 years of promise and hope. This is looking at the Constitution. Remember, today is Katiba Day. Kama hujatoka nyumbani, maybe the first thing you need to do is leave your home, carrying a copy of the Constitution. So what some of the things says, in 2010, Kenyans adopted a new constitution after its overwhelming approval in a referendum, bringing to an end 2-decade-long struggle for reforms. While progress is evident today, challenges persist. I must agree, we're enjoying a lot of things from this constitution. We're glad it happened. We, the people, have the constitution placed power in Wanjiko. Right to basic education, many reformers' dreams remain. Taming the presidency, the hits and misses. Supreme Court, 13 years of reshaping legal refrain. Counties reject directive to absorb over 7,000 UHC medics. Then you have the back page of the Nation, Madagascar into the final. Indian Ocean Islanders make their first final in history of the tournament. Who did they beat? Walichapa nani? Sudan. Hey. They beat Sudan. Okay. Then the Nation, the Standard newspaper. This is the headline. Scandalous. And it says, as Kenyans struggle to put food on the table amid the rising cost of living, the Ruto administration is spending millions of dollars on Washington lobbyists to polish its battered image on Capitol Hill. This follows a Republican senator's motion in Congress to reassess Kenya's standing, citing links to Sudanese warlords and a domestic record marked by abductions and killings. The Ruto presidency now appears intent on saving face. Then you got a face of a gentleman there who is the one who's kulaying our millions. Yeah? Pressure mounts on Duale to take responsibility for SHA deception, and indeed he should. He is a CS, and a lot of crap has happened during his tenure. Where's our kin? Anger, grief after another body mix-up at morgue. Ruto offers US farms millions to clean up. Then old habits die hard, how colonial blues have impeded constitutionalism in Kenya. And then the back page of the Standard, it's Madagascar and North Sudan in CHAN final. Madagascar. So they're doing their thing, right? Okay. These are the team. We had beaten Madagascar, don't forget. And I'll say it again. We had beaten Madagascar and we were robbed of the goal. So every time you see Madagascar, see Kenya. Na hayo tu ndio tutasema kwa sasa. Anyway, remember in a couple of minutes or so, we're going to have a conversation with David Ogot, a recovering alcoholic. If kanywaji kana kusumbua, please make sure that what happens is you listen into this show, because it can help you be able to beat that vice. It's a vice that has taken many under. It's a vice that has destroyed many careers. It's a vice that has destroyed many families. So this thing called alcoholism, drug addiction and alcoholism is crazy. It's taken so many big names down, and they're not the only ones. So we'll be discussing on how you can be able to overcome this, okay? All right, let's take a short break. I've seen, we have a nice lady in the studio, not in the studio, in the office, called Phyllis. Phyllis has brought us some nice stuff. Utaona tukikunywa hapa dakika kidogo. Some H2O. Let's take that break, Alice.